Hey, welcome back into today's video. We have a lot of updates on recent topics that we've covered. Nurse Hannah is being investigated, and there's another anecdotal account. Hannah's the woman who pulled the chair out from underneath her toddler with a knife in its hand. Also, the twisted and disgusting story of Ashley Trevino gets worse as she steals her own 15-year-old daughter's crush, takes him out on a date. Even Jeffree Star makes an appearance. All that and more as The Rep reports. That's good coffee. Espresso. Now, if you're unfamiliar with who Nurse Hannah is, I did a deep dive about 2 weeks ago. The dark story behind TikTok's worst mom. And I'll be honest, it's debatable between Ashley Trevino and Nurse Hannah. Nurse Hannah goes by Hannah Hyatt on TikTok with over 500,000. That's a cool 500,000 there followers. And to be honest with you, when this first started, she had about 200,000 followers. And then everybody found out that she is a possible clone of Ruby Frankie. It's still debatable. She's exploded in followers. I mean, thousands a day. And I'm going to talk to you about this and why. I believe this is called, or at least what I'd like to call, the low-cal phenomenon. But first, for all the new people out there, Hannah became popular because she released a video called 17 Diapers, and then she was coined the term 17 Diapers Mom. It became so popular that she was on a show called Tamron Hall. She was covered by mainstream news outlets. I gotta sneeze. She was covered in a good light by People magazine. She was covered on podcasts by influencers like Avery Woods, covered by people who were quick to jump the gun on anything viral, it seems, so they could get some clicks and views.
Let's pick up all the dirty diapers I have lying around my house right now. I kid you not, my guess is probably 15.
It ended up being 17. They were even on the coffee table, leaving residue. As you can see, 1, 2, 3 here, and I don't know why, but you can see she picks this up. There's residue where they eat. Do you see that residue? And of course, because this went viral, it caused a lot of people to look closer at this person. That's when that video was discovered where the child put his hands up in what looked like sheer terror and fear because the father approached, and this raised a lot of eyebrows. Other things were discovered like...
Good morning to everybody except for James, who felt the need to just full on touch the waffle iron this morning. Why would you touch that? Come here. Come here. Lately, we are just 100...
She would leave out hot waffle irons for her child to get a hold of and then say to the child, why would you touch that? And then things like pulling the chair out from underneath her child.
You guys will not believe this video that one of my followers sent me, and honestly, I'm shocked. Please tell me if it looks like this girl did this on purpose.
This right here doesn't say struggle bus this morning. I don't know what will. You know, I was rushing this morning to go get my hair done, and I was trying to be a nice mom and make pancakes, and you know what? It just ended up with James falling off the chair. I mean, he was fine afterwards, but he did just cry and sob for a good chunk of time.
Rage baiting kind of cut the bullshit. Did not just pull that chair away from your son. Him to fall with a knife, fake knife, in his hand, and be annoyed that he got hurt on camera. And making your kid pancakes isn't being a good mom. You're feeding your child. You're gonna pull the chair away from your child and him fall, get hurt, and then you be mad because you want to go get your hair.
You can actually see her pull the chair. Something else that other people pointed out in my deep dive on this was that there was a knife in the toddler's hand. As you can see it here. And then when she picks up the kid, you'll see it. You can actually see her pull the chair. 100%. There's situations where she had her kid out in like very, very, very cold, like 8-degree weather with no jacket, wouldn't buy the jacket. There were situations where she wasn't holding the newborn's head properly, feeding wasabi and jalapenos to the babies. You name it, it was there. I highly encourage you to check out the deep dive, which will be popped up there, but don't watch it yet. Watch it after this video. But that kind of gives you like a brief catch up to who we're talking about. And in the last video, I emphasized how it's important for anecdotes to come out from different people who have experienced her. We had one of her former best friend who aligned a couple different things. We'll talk about that a little bit later. And we had a recent person come out, somebody that used to work with her, a supervisor, who said this.
Hi friends. I wanted to quickly just comment on the situation with Nurse Hannah. I actually know Hannah. She was a traveling nurse here in Washington, and I worked with her at a facility over here in Eastern Washington about, oh gosh, see, she was about 4 months pregnant, 4 or 5 months. She was 20 weeks, so she's about 5 months pregnant when I worked with her. And I'm shocked, first and foremost. Hannah loves her son. She was a good mother. This is what I experienced when I worked with her. I was the supervisor. She was a traveling nurse. She was very pleasant. She did her job. She did not get involved with drama. She came to work and she worked hard. She loves her son.
This is an interesting thing for her to say, that she worked hard, because in the second video I'm going to show you, she emphasizes how she caught Hannah in the closet filming TikToks, which that's been a big deal in this scenario.
You know, we had a little Taco Tuesday thing going on, or taco, I don't know, somebody made enchiladas or something, and we had like a little taco bar, and Hannah and I were on a break, and we sat and visited for quite a while, for about half an hour or so, and she told me about her family and where she's from and everything, and her father is a physician. She comes from a good family, and again, I'm not saying that somebody can't be a bad person if they came from a good family, but she comes from a family of, healthcare. At least her father's a healthcare worker. I can't remember what she said her mom does. I think she has several brothers and sisters. Her and her husband and her little boy at the time, she just had the little boy at the time and was pregnant with her second child. Excuse me. They were here in our area staying with friends, and they also, I think they had family in the area as well, or friends that they wanted to spend some time with. She was here during the summer. I want to say it was summertime she was here. Early summer, late spring, early summer. I didn't see any of what the internet is going crazy about. She loves her little boy.
These anecdotal accounts are very important because they paint a broader picture. She's giving her experience of Hannah, which is personal, and then we take the bits and pieces and we line them up with what her former friend said, the other anecdotal account, and we see what is a commonality.
She's not a violent person. She was very good with the patients. She was a very good nurse. Again, I'm really shocked. Like, I didn't know all this was going on. I just happened to see it on, I think it was Jessica Kent's page. I follow her, and so I also follow Ashley Clark Huffman, I think. And I was watching both of those gals' they came on, their latest videos came on my page as I was scrolling, my For You page or whatever, my following page, people I'm following. And I see them talk about Nurse Hannah, and I'm just listening along because she's a nurse. I hear nurse something, and I'm going to listen because I'm a nurse and I want to know what's going on. So they talk about this Nurse Hannah and how she's a child. And then one of them, Jessica Kent's video, she played a little clip from Hannah's video. I'm like, oh my gosh, that's Hannah. That's the Hannah, the Hannah that I worked with. And I'm shocked. I'm like, what the hell is going on here? I did not see any of bad behavior going on. Like I said, I don't know. I never saw that. And I saw her in person, and I knew her in person. Again, I don't know her well. I know her, just a couple of months of working with her. But
here she even admits she didn't know Hannah well and only had meetings with her in public where Hannah was able to put her best foot forward.
I don't know. I just think that really people take things way out of context, and I follow Hannah. I followed her the whole time. Now, I haven't seen her videos for a long time because she, for whatever reason, she doesn't come up on my page, and I'm going to be honest, I sort of forgot about that I follow her because I haven't seen her in months. And I was shocked when I saw all these videos about her. I don't know. I really hope that I hope that people aren't just taking a rumor and running with it and possibly ruining a young woman and her family's life. Please be mindful of that. Nobody knows, unless you're friends with somebody on TikTok or any social media platform, if you don't know them in person, I don't know. I don't know. Again, I don't know.
Again, she doesn't know. It's pretty clear that she was out of the loop on this. One user saying, it's really not for you to say based on being her acquaintance that you think she was a good mom, if that's what you're saying. As a victim of DV, I know it when I see it. And that little boy is it cut off, but I'm sure they were going to say not being treated well, which is pretty obvious.
All I know is I'm shocked by all of this, and I'm just like, wow. You know, it's crazy. So anyway.
And in this next video, I'm going to show you she contradicts everything that she said about Hannah being a good worker.
That was the last thing that was, you know, in my mind when I knew Hannah. You know, because she was a good nurse. Excuse me. She didn't get involved in drama at work. She did her job. The only thing I will say is this, that I do think lends a little credence to the possibility that this is for views. And the reason I say that is because when I worked with her, you know, I talked with her about, excuse me, she had filmed a video in our med room, and I was like, hey, like, you know, please don't do that. We can't have you doing that here. And she's like, okay, well, you know, I didn't have any, sorry, my dogs are being rats this morning. Anyway, I said, I can't have you in the med room. You know, we just can't have that. Obviously it's a HIPAA violation. We can't have you doing that.
So I had my suspicions because there were several videos where she was in the bathroom, in closets, with committing these potential HIPAA violations, and that doesn't, to me, equate to being a good worker. What it looks like to me is this person here, and again, these anecdotal accounts are very important, but it looks like she just doesn't like confrontation and is wording herself very carefully. That way she doesn't make anybody angry at her.
And then I started talking to her about TikTok, because I said, well, I'm on TikTok. I certainly don't have the amount of followers she has. At the time that I knew Hannah, which was last spring, I think it was around April. I was thinking about that last night. Sorry, my lashes are going crazy too. I'm a hot mess this morning. Anyway, I apologize. I just saw your comment and wanted to respond. But it was like around April. Maybe it was May. Anyway, it was in the spring, summer months. But early summer, not late summer. She had like 30,000 followers, and she was telling me, you know, she's like, well, this is how you get followers. And, you know, she's like, a lot of times you have to lie. And this is direct quote from her. Sometimes you have to lie, you know, because that's what gets the views. You got to do what gets the views. And I'm like, oh, okay. You know, and so she was talking about in the context of, you know, I think she made herself sound like a scandalous nurse so that, you know, excuse me one second. Okay. So at the time that I knew her, the big thing that was that there had been many videos made about her. She sort of went viral at that time because she, you know, she's like, well, I'm an LPN, and there's no difference between, you know, there's very little difference between me and an RN, and I can do just about what they can do, and blah, 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 blah. And there was several nurses who fired back at her like, you know, there is a difference, and you need to be respectful. Like, you know, you just don't work outside of your scope. Like, hello.
Wait a minute. So first you're saying that she was a good worker, and then you go on to tell us how she potentially broke HIPAA violations. And then you say she was a good mom and a good person, but then you say that she's advocating for lying and then going outside of her scope. You know, call me crazy, but those attributes don't seem to embody a good person. This is crazy and a very important anecdotal account that we should consider. Wow.
And anyway, so there was a little bit of backlash about that, you know, and so she had made the comment, you know, she's like, sometimes you have to lie. And she's like, I get brand deals, and I get, you know, companies wanting to work with me. And she's like, I get a lot of things for free because I work, you know, I've gained this many followers. Now, in no way did she ever say she does anything dangerous or, you know, never, ever did she say she was a toward her son or that she would, go to that length for views. She didn't say anything like that. And she really didn't say she was, she said nothing about like doing anything drastic for views. Just that sometimes you have to stretch the truth. Sometimes you have to lie a little bit, so that you can get views, so people will pay attention. So that's
Okay, she told you that she had a financial incentive to lie, and then said that, well, I don't harm my kid. Well, you know what? Absolutely, we should believe her on that. Glad you put that out there.
lose their nursing license, their ability to raise their children because of a misunderstanding on TikTok. And if she is doing those things for views, if she's trying to make it look like she's to get people talking, then you know what? you're going to get what comes to you, because you're going to have to deal with people wanting to be protective of her child. But yeah, so that's where I'm coming from. That's all I know. And there was another comment above, have I ever been with her and her son? No, I have not. I've only had her, say, I got to go get my son. I've got to go, we're going here today. We're going there today. We have a lot of things to do in this area, as you do in every area. And she took her son to all the fun things here. And
Wait a minute. You called her a good mom, but you've never seen her and her son together. So you just believed everything that she told you at face value. Well, still, this is an important thing. And I think this is a smoking gun, because you take what this anecdotal account mentions, you take it and you put it next to the other ex-best friend, and you see what correlates. And this is very important. They do this in civil cases all the time, and it puts situations within the realm of possibility. That's why you have to pay attention to these things. And that's why they're so important. So in my video, The Dark Story Behind TikTok's Worst Mom, we hear from her ex-best friend. And now we're going to take what she said, and we're going to juxtapose it next to what her ex-supervisor said. We're going to see if we can't correlate a couple things.
Because of finances. And I just want to put it out there that she comes from a very wealthy family. Her dad is a very successful doctor who even operated on my brother's foot when he broke it.
Okay, so they both confirmed that she comes from a wealthy family and that her father is a prominent doctor.
Drifted us, but a big reason why I stopped hanging around her was because she was so negative and like she complained so much. And even my own mom had concerns because like I just like would kind of become more negative and like more of a complainer and like talk kind of nasty like after hanging out with her. And like she always kind of struggled with that, and like she would say really mean things about people and stuff, and was like pretty judgmental and stuff. And like and like also the whole thing about like the 17 diapers and stuff, like I will say, like, as nice of like the house was that she grew up in, like how huge it was often very messy, and like so were their cars.
Exhibited negative traits. Like lying? Well, it goes a long ways to say that a lot of those HIPAA-violated TikTok videos that she did in the bathrooms and the closets were her talking negative about her coworkers.
Nurse, and you're not helping out your CNAs. What the heck are you doing?
I'm a nursing home nurse, and today I had 64 patients all to myself. I walked in, looked at the board, and ooh, lucky me.
The other thing is that a lot of times in her videos, and this is probably also HIPAA violation, she pulled out patients' medical stuff, medications and things like that had their names and stuff on them. Doesn't sound like something that you're supposed to do.
64 just for me? What did I do to deserve this? No, but seriously, who did I piss off to deserve 64 patients? Well, I must have pissed off the nurse I was supposed to work with because she called off last minute.
One thing that kind of drives me crazy about being a nurse and just other nurses in general are people that are not willing to work other floors and other units.
So we have two anecdotal accounts. You put them together, we see similarities, we see commonalities, very important in situations like this because, again, it puts them within the realm of possibility. Also, it turns out that, yes, she is under investigation.
It all started with a viral video about diapers.
She was actually covered by ABC, who then put out an official announcement saying that the Sheriff's Department said this. Ogden police say they're investigating a social media influencer after receiving multiple calls from concerned TikTok viewers who reported that her viral video suggested mistreatment of her toddler son. In a statement this week, DFAC said it will continue its practice under Utah law of not sharing specific case information or confirming its involvement with the family. Sources told ABC that there was a detective that was investigating along with CPS also investigating.
The Ogden, Utah Police Department confirming to ABC News that an investigation has been opened and that a detective has been assigned to the case.
Hannah hasn't said anything on any of her social medias, but she was spotted out by viewers. As you can see, she's at a bowling alley with her husband. Apparently, the children was there because the bio says, and yes, she still has possession of the kids. I commented and said, there's Waldo. Get it? Because she's, nobody's been able to find her. Another thing I want to talk about is her dramatic increase in followers. As you can see, she's gaining thousands every day. And I just want to make this clear. This is what I like to call the lolcow phenomenon. This is not because people love her. People are not lining up to get autographs from her. People are only following her for the entertainment aspect. They're actually wanting to keep up to date with what's going on. They want to see what happens. It's like, since the pandemic, this has been the modern type of thing that people do. They go and they seek out the entertainment from these types of lolcows on the internet. And it's very important for me to say this because it ties into Ashley Trevino in our next topic. Before we get into that, if you're enjoying these updates and the coverage that I put out here, consider smashing that subscribe button and helping me get to 318,000 subscribers. Really like to get 320 by the end of the year as a goal. Also, let's take a break for a magic trick. That's cool, I know. I'm magic. Ashley Trevino, this woman is a phenomenon all on her own, and in the last lolcow documentary deep dive that I did about 3 weeks ago, it's the horrific story behind TikTok's inmate Hopper. We covered her rise to the top of the lolcow echelon. If you're unfamiliar, Ashley Trevino has a TikTok over 200,000 followers, but there's a trick to this. You'll often see her making multiple accounts because her accounts are always getting banned. There is a sheer unfathomable amount of accounts to do with her. And yes, some of them are her, but her main account has almost 1 million followers. Jesus Christ. Cheese and rice! She's got an Instagram account. Her Instagram account's got just over 70,000 followers. But again, her accounts are always being restricted. Live stream privileges taken away because of the things that she does on it. We're going to get into that. Most recent picture she posted says, I did a thing. Somebody's saying, unfortunately, I screen recorded the worst part. And if you're new to this topic, let me give you an example of who this person is. It's scary, I warn you. Interestingly enough, these videos have now been deleted. Fortunately for you, they're in my video. Now I just gotta go find it, hold on. It says, Ash says it's okay if her minor children lie about their age so that they can be with an older man.
Like, it's like one of my kids, say Haley, for instance. She meets a guy. She likes him. She wants to do something. The guy asks her, how old are you? She says, I'm 18 or 17. The guy believes it. And then I find out, honestly, if I find out my daughter's doing something, I'm not going to sit there and call the cops. I was her age at once. I was doing it, so. But, more than likely, other races do that. Mexicans aren't so bad about doing that. But other races do.
That was her admitting that she wouldn't report a P3DO essaying her daughter, while also admitting that she herself was essayed in this same fashion. Keep in mind, this is a person who brings inmates home around her children. And to make matters worse, listen to this.
Just because somebody has that charge does not mean that they were with the kid.
This says Ash defending P3DOs.
Does not mean that the kid was like 5 years old, you guys, because it could be a teenager lying about their age.
And seeing how teens are children and her daughters are 13 and 15 years old, I think there's a little bit of cause for concern there. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. But we shouldn't be surprised because this is how this woman treats her daughters.
One lip filler?
No, my lips are actually big.
They're not that big, baby.
Because it scares me.
Do you want lip filler?
No, my lips are actually big.
They're not that big, baby.
Okay, but they're big enough for me.
They're not that big.
Yes, they are.
No, they're not.
Why are you being a hater?
Let me see.
Okay. They look like the same size as yours.
No, they don't.
Mom, yes, they do.
And no, they don't.
That was her body shaming her own daughter. Here's her calling her daughter ugly.
Stop taking pictures.
You look your phone.
Quit taking pictures, ugly. Alright guys, I'm taking pictures, ugly.
And recently she admitted something extremely shocking, and
Haley literally has been through, like, the bottom of her life. Like, I'm telling you, whenever we lived with her dad, I used to pull her by the hair because I was so mad at her. Like, I feel like he loved her more than he loved me, and so, like, I took my anger out on her. And she doesn't even, like, hate me for that. Like, she doesn't even remember that.
to go into a little bit more detail,
Haley has always had a soft heart. And, you know, I felt bad raising her because, Hefa, I'm not gonna lie, babe. Like, I was young when I raised her. My mom was her mom. And I used to, like, I don't even want to say this on live because of how I used to treat her. But, like, when she would make me mad, like, she would take off running and I would just, like, yank her by the hair and, like, pull her. And she would be like, Mom, what are you doing? But she was, like, little. And I didn't know that that was, like, not the way to treat your daughter, you know? And so, like, my poor baby.
what does she mean that's not a way you're supposed to treat your daughter? That's not a way you're supposed to treat anyone.
I used to do that with her because I used to be so mad at her, like, what are you doing, you know? And so I would, like, pull her by the hair.
You were young too, no?
I was a young mom raising her, and she still loves me till this day. And so now whenever I think about it, I'm like, bro, like, I treated her like crap, and she still loves me, and she still makes videos. If you see her videos, they're like, my mom is the best mom, or like,
yeah, she posted one today of you guys in the car together.
Yeah, and then she's like, this is how I see my mom, and this is how y'all see my mom. Like, my baby still sees me as, like, her mom that she, you know, like, and little does she know that I used to literally, like, treat her worse than what I treated Evie, because Evie was always my baby, and Haley.
But I think, like, as Latinas,
That's very sad because that is that young girl's only experience of what a mother is. And I want to say to anybody out there young watching that this is not a good example of what love is. And of course she got backlash for this because she admitted to ABUSC, which isn't shocking considering in the deep dive video that I did on her that when we went through and broke down everything, she admitted to a felony there as well. Multiple felonies, honestly.
How did the glass break? I threw the glass. I threw the glass. I broke my phone too. My phone's broke right now. 2 days ago, me and my daughter got into it. And she didn't stay with me because she threw a chair at me and my leg is bruised. She put her hands on me. And I already had told her, stop putting your hands on me, bro. This is not the first time she's done that.
So that gives anybody new a kind of introduction to who she is. But if you want to know more, like I said, I did a local documentary deep dive. It'll pop up right here. Watch it after this video, but things have gotten worse, and I'm currently in the process of making another huge documentary dive into this person. You won't believe there are characters like Jeffree Star and Jack Doherty. Doherty.
In the U.S., it is said as Doherty.
It wasn't that far off. Well, she ended up stealing her 15-year-old daughter's crush and taking this person out on a date. Yes, it was a teenager. He goes by Santos on TikTok. Here's him saying his alleged age.
Trevino, Santos is 19. He's not 22. I had a lot of people comment on my past video that he was 19, and I didn't know anything about this guy. I started hearing about him when he was trying to get with Shawty Bay. But yes, he's 19. Here's proof. This is a picture from his yearbook. He just graduated. He's still a child. He has a child's face. He doesn't have a man's body. He's still a child, especially because she's 36. So a 36-year-old shouldn't be messing with a 19-year-old. And she had said that she didn't care how old he was as long as he was over 21, and obviously he's not. What's also really sad is that one of her daughters was really excited when Santos came on the lives, one of the first ones, and she actually said she had a crush on him. And for her mother to just, start messing around with this guy, that's insane in her part. Now,
and here's him admitting also in a live stream.
What's your age, Santos?
I'm 19. I can box him.
So the age finally comes out. He's 19.
He's 19.
This is significant not because of illegality. It's kind of gross, yes, but it's because he's closer in age to her 15-year-old daughter who had a crush on this guy. This is weird, but there's an incident where they had a live stream where she was showing herself to him, he was showing herself to her, it was a whole thing. One Reddit user says, IG live last night, but how embarrassing for the poor daughters. I recently saw supposedly Haley had told Ashley prior to this that she had a crush on Santos, and Ashley still did this. Now I've completely cut out her part there, so you can't see it, but you can see his reaction because she's showing inappropriate things.
What are you doing right now? You know what? Oh my goodness. Yo! Chat, everybody go to my Instagram. Fuck the TikTok live. They're sensitive.
One user saying, oh my God, that's so sick. This is a mother. Oh my God, those poor kids, bro. Now, apparently what happened is TikTok banned her after that because you can't be showing that stuff on there. And then they went to Instagram live stream to where they showed each other's parts in the shower. Can't go into detail because YouTube will not like that if I do that. But it was very bad. But Santos later said in a TikTok live this.
I'm trying to add Ash right now. But yeah, me and Ash, we had an intimate phone call last night. Apparently, bro, I didn't know she was on live when I was taking a shower. I didn't care. I was like, set my phone up and I just took a shower. Man, when you got a whole... No, I'm not gonna say too much.
Ashley's daughter later apologizing for her mother's actions. This says Ashley's daughter with a few TikToks after embarrassing live. Saying, y'all sorry about my mom today. I have no part in her actions. Sometimes I wish I could go back. Posting a picture of when she was younger. It says to when things were better. That is so sad. So just to recap, they showed themselves to the world on a live for everyone to see. Ashley later saying,
I've already seen his beepee, and he's already seen my nunu. Okay?
While Ashley's saying this, the daughter, who had her crush stolen by her mother, comes into her own mother, saying,
okay? You need to get off later. You're saying stuff that people don't need to know. Okay, well. Okay? I don't know where the mods are. You need to get off soon, okay?
At this point, she pauses it, and it looks like she's saying some really nasty things. If you guys are lip readers, what do you think she says? So at this point, Santos and Ashley are both making jokes about this, using the soundbite from that last video I showed you to joke.
Simple as that. I've already seen his beepee, and he's already seen my nunu. Okay?
Now, if you guys have seen the documentary I made on Ashley, then you know that she does not treat her daughters like daughters.
And so I'm learning to be a mom on my own and live on my own with my kids, just me and them. It's not easy. Mm-hmm. So just like a new mom, fresh mom is learning, I'm learning how to grow with my children because I've always had my parents. My mom literally helped me raise my oldest from the day she was born. And that's not no lie. You know, Evie, I was the one with her, but my oldest, that's like my mom's other daughter. And I'm not even lying. Like I always seen her as a sister growing up. So that's why she kind of doesn't talk to me like I'm her mom because of the fact that I grew up with her like she was my little sister. And all my family would call her my little sister.
Yeah, that makes sense because there's times where I see her getting your live and then she's talking to you more like if you guys were sisters more than a mother or daughter, you know?
Yeah, so she like talks to my parents, like those are her actual parents. And like if I get onto her and she's here, she'll call my mom, Grandma, come pick me up. And my mom will come pick her up. Mm-hmm. So it's like I can't get onto them or I feel like I can't, well, her at least, because she runs to them.
And was there like a reason for that you guys became more like sisters instead of like mother and daughter kind of thing?
To be honest, their dad was in their life. God rest his soul because now he's passed. But when we were together, he was more in the calle all the time. So my mom would be the one, like when I first had her, we lived with my mom. So she helped me raise her. When she was like crying in the middle of the night, he wasn't home. He was out with his friends. My mom was the one who would get up with me at 2 a.m, feed her.
One user saying, she's so full of S-word. I had my kid at 19 and never felt like my parents needed to raise her. She's only 2 now. I did everything I needed to do. My parents never woke up with me, took her to school, none of that. She's entitled and took advantage of them. I've literally only been out once by myself without the kid at a graduation party because I know it's not fair to leave her with my parents like that. She didn't want to step up to the plate to be a mom and still doesn't. There's so much more to this, and I'm going to break it down and all the logic and illogical, fallacious things to do with it in the next video I put out on this. So make sure you're subscribed, smashing that subscribe button. If you're enjoying the content, that is, only if you're enjoying the content. This locale show is pulling serious numbers. Apparently, when she went out with Santos, the teenager, she had 1.6 million viewers watching. One user saying, that's crazy. She's 36 with 2 teenage kids meeting a 19-year-old boy. Other live streams reaching in the hundreds of thousands.
Okay, we need to get her a new apartment ASAP. Like, I need to get you out of there like tomorrow.
Let me go make sure Santos is okay.
And I want to emphasize on something, as I talked about earlier with Nurse Hannah, these people are not following because they're inspired by this person. This is the show. This is the entertainment to them. This is the localness. In fact, to still man my point, when she was walking into a club with Santos, there was a crowd waiting for it. You know, at first look, it might seem like that she's a celebrity, and she really truly thinks that she is. But these girls show up, and they're kind of like, look, yep, there she is. Yep, she is ugly.
La güey. Está bien feíta la güey. Shut the fuck up. She is ugly.
But because of the numbers, she did live streams with Jeffree Star.
How was your date the other night? You him or what?
No.
Oh, why not?
He's too young. No. Right now he's out buying my shoes though.
I am screaming. Do y'all want to do a 2v2 or what we y'all ladies doing?
Yeah, we can. You want to, Ash?
Yeah.
Who else is on right now?
You want to get Santos? Because Santos says he was going to get on live.
And then here's Jeffree Star finding out from everybody the type of person that Ashley is.
No idea what you guys are talking about. That's all I wanted to say for the record. I have no idea. Clearly you guys have a lot to say in the chat. I will do my research later. Xtina, I've never heard of this person, but they have a lot to say. Oh, wow. Oh my God, that's a lot. That's heavy. Oh my God, you guys are saying some really crazy stuff in the chat. Like the...
One user saying, does Jeffree Star think he's some unproblematic angel being shocked about Ashley Trevino? Which I used to cover Jeffree Star years ago. He was involved in some really bad stuff back in the day, some terrible alleged situations. It was not good. I haven't been keeping up with him in recent times, so I don't know what he's been up to. But I definitely know that he's been problematic. Well, that's probably an understatement in the past. Ashley Trevino Garcia goes live with Jack Doherty.
I did not know who you were.
We should do a stream.
Is that what you do?
Yep. But not like TikTok that much.
Oh. Yeah, I didn't know anything about you, but people were like in my comments like, oh my God, is that Jack? I'm like, who's Jack?
Tell me all about you today. Okay,
She's a queen, are you kidding me?
She loves you.
Queen. You live in Texas, right?
Yeah.
Okay, we were just in Texas.
My brother lives in Texas.
Yeah, I'm by Dallas.
Honestly. I think we were in Houston.
Houston.
What do you do?
Listen to what she says when he asks what she does.
What do you do?
Nothing. I literally just come on TikTok live and I battle, but it's like recently I've had a lot of views.
Why?
I don't know. Like, I met Santos yesterday. I don't know if you know Santos.
I've been seeing everything about that. Was that fun?
It was so fun.
There's so much to go into detail. Like, I've been working on this next deep dive into this. You guys aren't going to believe the stuff that is surrounding these situations. It's actually mind-blowing. Also, I want to say happy holidays to everybody out there. It's been quite the year. I should be able to get my deep dive on Ashley Trevino out this week. I'm working very hard on it, but just in case this is the last video of the year, I do want to say that I think back to times when I didn't have you guys, I didn't have this platform, and it reminds me of how grateful I am that this whole thing that we have exists. And I posted on my community tab saying, every year we come together to raise money for individuals in bad situations who feel trapped without options. Over the years, I've had countless people reach out to me sharing how much this support has helped them. It's hard to truly understand the weight of these situations if you haven't experienced them firsthand. Many feel powerless and lost because those they trusted to protect them have instead betrayed that trust. To anyone feeling this way, please do not give up. If you can spare even $1 this year, I kindly ask you to consider donating. We've already raised over $3,000 of our $5,000 goal. So we are close to making a difference together, and currently it's more than that. We're almost at $4,000, and I just want to concept this for you. In my last several videos, it's hundreds of thousands of views. And if you don't think that you can help, just imagine if each one of you just donated $1, just $1. And if you have a YouTube account, it's already connected. Go to any video that has the tag Fundraiser at the bottom. It'll be on the right on desktop, below on mobile. Just click donate. It gives you pre-selected options, but you can click other. If you guys do have an extra $1 laying around, just go ahead and click it and continue. And it'll pull up this right here with your card and just click donate. You get a little thank you message from me, to which you can share. And then you can tag me on YouTube, or you can even tag me on Instagram, and then I'll shout out and I'll even talk to you there. We can get into a conversation about whatever that you want. So basically, if everybody donated $1 right now, this goal would be met and then some. Thank you to my patrons and my channel members.